I love property. To me, it's like looking at a beautiful woman. I then in turn sold that company out, who then in turn sold out to Vodafone. And now my company was renting shops to a blue chip company. Their value skyrocketed.
Before we get on with this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video.
I've been asked really just to tell you a little bit about my life and my journey. And to me, my journey is nothing but normal. But it seems to have taken on a life of its own. I am a gypsy, and that word is frowned upon. I looked at some articles where it was in Google, typed in Alfie Best, then Yahoo finances come up, and there was 1,000 people talking about my ethnicity, or whatever you call it. But that's my niche, because out of all of your negatives, my negatives, they become our strengths. And it's about taking the negatives and turning them to positives. So I'm a Romany gypsy. I was born on the side of a road, genuinely born on the side of a road. Lucky I didn't get run over, but I was born on the side of the road. And I worked with my dad and my mum up until I was 12 or 13, tarmacking drives. And I was a cold caller at that age. That's what I did. And I opened my very first business when I was 16. And I used to buy vans from one part of London, send them to another part, or I'd buy them in Wales and send them to another part of an auction, and I'd make a small profit. And I did that until I was 20, and I opened up a van hire centre, and I was a millionaire. And sounds a little bit odd at 20. I'd bought my house, which was a mock Tudor £350,000 property. I had a £250,000 mortgage. I had a business that was producing £100,000 a year, and I was absolutely flying. I felt that I could walk on water. I actually couldn't believe what had happened in my life. I thought it was a genius. I thought I could wave a magic wand. But I wasn't. I was believing my own self-hype in my head. And the recession set in. And that recession was 1990. Don't want to give my age away too much, but it was 1990. And I collapsed across the desk and had a murmur at 20 years old. And by the sheer good grace of God, I managed to hang on to what I had by making adjustments, severe adjustments. I moved out of my house, rented the house out. I broke the hire van centre down into small units that I could rent out for £50, £75. And all this was to pay the mortgage, to stop the banks repossessing. And I slept in my car. You've got to understand the impact that has on you physically, mentally. I was driving a brand new 911 Porsche, and all of a sudden I'm now sleeping in an escort van. It's soul destroying. Thankfully, I now look back and I realise it wasn't soul destroying. It was character building. It brought me to the place where I needed to be. and that's diversity. Diverse enough, but powerful enough within my mind to know that I was never going to fail. Failure is just a point in time, which is never a failure as long as you take the experience from it. I'm an uneducated gypsy. I'm a nobody. But today, I am one of in the top 450 richest people in the country. So, does that make me any better than anybody else? No, it makes me worse. That's what a lot of the British people would say. And we've got holdings in America and in Barbados. We don't celebrate entrepreneurship here. And I am so privileged to be able to speak to you here today. I'm privileged that I can see we do have so many entrepreneurs that do want to celebrate it, but we have this class structure that they don't want us to break through. But you know something? We are breaking through. We are changing. And we are becoming the entrepreneurs that we can be. So I got a job for £70 a week in a mobile phone shop because I had to do something. I had to get a job. And that was sexy. It was new. It was innovative. I worked there for 3 months and saw what they were doing. Studied what they were doing. And in 18 months, I'd opened 18 stores. Now, I love property. To me, it's like looking at a beautiful woman. I look at a building, old, new, or indifferent, and I could touch it, feel it. I love it. I really love property. So, what I did was I then went about buying all of the shops that we rented in a secondary company and rented the shops back to my company. I then in turn sold that company out, who then in turn sold out to Vodafone, and now my company was renting shops to a blue chip company. So their value skyrocketed. And a lot of people have said to me, was that luck? It wasn't. It wasn't luck, it was just forward thinking of what I wanted to do. You take a hit on some things to get forward on others. And then I went into commercial property because I love property. I love it. And commercial property was in a different type of sector then, where pension funds didn't invest in them. They were more into residential property at the time. And then, through judgment of following auctions, looking at different styles of property, I then built up a fairly substantial portfolio. And we sold those out to the pension funds. And we started again and kept that going. To that point in my life, was it easy? No. It was a magnificent journey that had a lot of obstacles, problems, issues from banks, issues from funding. But I wouldn't change a single thing of it. Because all of those difficulties where somebody said no gave me the courage to knock on the next door, and the next door, and the next door, until somebody said yes. Or better still, somebody believed in what I was presenting, my business plan. Because all properties are different. They're like people. Every piece of property is different and it has its niche. That's why we all like to live in different types of houses. Then I come on to Wildcrest Parks, which is Europe's largest residential mobile home park company. We have 75 parks throughout the UK. We have 5 parks in America. We have holdings in golf courses, and we have just completed on a £57 million deal, which is not included within that, which will take us to be the world's largest mobile home park operator. Am I privileged? I'm physically shaking now because I'm still a kid in the sweet shop, and I'm privileged enough to be able to take those sweets out the glass jar, where I wasn't before. We currently have 13,000 residents, and that will go to 18,000 residents. Hopefully, we are looking to float the company in 18 months' time, and I will be the first ever gypsy that has taken a company to the market. Now, I say these things, and I don't mean them in a condescending way, because what I'm trying to get across is I'm nobody. I'm genuinely a nobody. Uneducated, not sharp, but there is one thing that I have, and that is determination. And you've all got that. That's why you're here. That's why you're here. And the journey that you're either on or the journey you're going to take will change your life. It will change your life in ways you cannot imagine. And your thinking will change.
If you've enjoyed this video and you want to learn more about property investing professionally, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel.